Well, a very good evening to you and welcome to Newswatch right here at Hope TV. I do hope you had a fantastic day from wherever you are watching tonight's bulletin with me, Sammy Adika. Well, today a lot has been happening, specifically after the abduction of veteran journalist Macharia Gaitho early in the morning. Well, we shall be keeping you up to date with that and many more. Remember to get in touch with us through our socials at Hope TV and on my Twitter handle at Adika Sammy. Starting us off tonight, journalists have issued a 7-day strike notice if action will not be taken against attacks on their colleagues witnessed during the recent anti-government protests. This follows the recent horrifying incidents, including the shooting of Nakuru-based journalist Catherine Wanjeri Kariuki while covering the anti-government protest in the town on Tuesday. In a statement on Wednesday, the Kenya Editors Guild President Zubeida Kananu noted that the disturbing trend has continued unbattered since the beginning of the Gen Z protest. And as Grace Ahati reports, journalists in the county have staged a protest demanding a thorough investigation in the shooting to hold those responsible for such acts of violence accountable.
Amid escalating reports of police brutality during the recent anti-government protests, journalists in the country have now issued a 7-day strike notice demanding action be taken to address the attacks on their colleagues. In a press briefing in Nairobi, the Kenya Editors Guild KEG emphasized that the excessive use of force by police officers on Kenyans is not only unwarranted but also violates the Constitution of Kenya, specifically the Bill of Rights. According to KEG President Zubeida Kananu, a majority of journalists have reported receiving threats and experiencing intimidation aimed at silencing them from objectively covering events of public interest. This comes even as journalists in Nakuru County have staged protests following the shooting of local journalist Catherine Wanjeri Kariuki while covering the anti-government protest in the town on Tuesday. The journalists gathered holding placards and chanting slogans denouncing violence against the press, demanding accountability and a thorough investigation into the shooting. In a separate incident, veteran journalist Macharia Gaitho was abducted at the Karen police station while in company of his son, but later released on grounds of alleged mistaken identity. The National Police Service NPS later clarified that they had mistaken Macharia Gaitho for a blogger named Francis Gaitho, who is being sought after. However, upon his release, Gaitho told the press that he believed that his abduction was not a case of mistaken identity, noting that his recent reports published in the Daily Nation were critical of the state.
Gaitho, as far as I know, does not drive a car that resembles mine. It is me they were looking for. It is me they were trailing. Does this cow you? No, we cannot be cowed. I think we were there during the struggle against the one-party dictatorship. If we resisted Moi, who are these ones? You intend to say? Yes.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Well, away from that, families with missing persons are still gathering at City Mortuary to identify their kins after the recovery of bodies at the Kware dump site in Mukuru Kwanjenga slums. The family of Roslyn Akoth has identified their loved one, with the discovery raising questions as to why their kin was killed in a devastating manner. The family now wants justice for Roslyn, even after the prime suspect was arrested and arraigned in court. Our reporter Dolly Murigi with the report.
It is a somber mood at City Mortuary. Families who lost their loved ones arrived here to identify the bodies of their loved ones. Before identifying their bodies, the Red Cross unit was here to give counsel to some of the families. Here is the family of Roslyn Akoth, who came to identify the body of their loved one. 24-year-old Roslyn, a mother of 3, disappeared on June 29th, with efforts to find her starting 2 days later after a phone call was answered by a different person.
Sasa ilipofika Sunday, ndugu yake akampigia simu kutaka kujua ako wapi. Simu ilipokelewa, yeye hakuongea. Kulikuwa tuna kelele. Ndugu yake akakata, akapiga tena. Tena kukawa tu na kelele, mwenyewe hakuongea. Ndio ndugu yake akasema kama atatoka kwa kelele atamtafuta. Baada ya hapo tukawa tunampigia simu haingii. Akipigiwa ni mteja. Tukauliza hata nyumbani kwa relative kama Rose ameongea na mtu yote. Wakawa wanasema simu yake haingii.
Upon hearing the Quarry Dumpsite saga, they reported their missing king to the police.
Tukaenda kuripoti kwa police station kusema mtu wetu alipotea. Ndio tukakuja hapa City Mortuary, tukaangalia mili ilikuwa hapo. Vile tulipeana maelezo vile alitoka kama amevaa, tukaletewa miwili kuconfirm. Kuangalia moja ikawa ni yeye, lakini tukawa tuna doubt, hatuko sure.
To a shocking event, Roslyn's body has some missing part.
Mwili hayuko mwili mzima. Mwili ni nusu. Kipande ni kutokea kwa kiuno kukuja juu. Kutoka kwa kiuno kwenda kwa miguu haiko. Na mwili, yani hata ukimwangalia huwezi jua kama hujamwangalia vizuri huwezi tambua ni yeye. Lakini sasa sisi tunamjua, tumekaa na yeye kulingana na venye ako ni yeye. Nguo zenye alitoka nazo ndio zenye tulipata nazo mwili, kwa hivyo ni yeye.
Mimi ndio nilimtambua Rose na meno yake, nikamwangalia vizuri kichwa yake, nikaona mkono yake, nikagundua ni Rose. Sasa nilishangaa sana, sikujua, na hivyo ndio nilikuwa naenda kumpata. Nilikuwa najua ati Rose ni ule sura yake ya zamani. Rose alikuwa ameoza kabisa. Sikujua alikuwa amekatwa hivyo kwa nini. Miguu ya Rose haijapatikana. Rose iko nusu. Nilishangaa sana.
The family is now seeking justice for Roslyn while calling on well-wishers to finance Roslyn's send-off.
Tunaomba hiyo chunguzi ifanywe haraka na serikali ndio tujue ukweli iko wapi. Ya pili, tunaomba serikali na mtu yote well-wishers wale wako na roho ya kutusaidia kubeba hiyo mzigo, kwa sababu sasa tuko na mzigo na we are really burdened. Tutoe hapa mwili tupeleke nyumbani.
According to Haki Africa, quarry crime scene should be protected to avoid tampering with the ongoing investigation.
Tunavozungumza mili imeletwa hapa, na hata jana kuna mili ililetwa, lakini kuna wasiwasi huenda ikawa si ya hapo, imetolewa kwa quarry ama haikutolewa hapo. So that's why we are saying members of the community wasitoe mili pale katika site, waache ya kwamba mili ile iweze kuwa secured na polisi ili waweze kuunda kesi thabiti against whoever ambao watakuwa wamepatikana kama perpetrator wa hii kesi.
In the search for the lost kin, Kiran Havere is here to look for her daughter. Alien Hayele went missing last year in May, and since then Alien has never been found.
Sasa hii mkasa ndio imefanya tena nikasema acha hata nikuje nijaribu tena nione kama naweza kumpata. Lakini ni vile nimekuja, nimetembea, wamenipetembeza mpaka huko kwa mochari sijapata. Lakini nashukuru kwa hayo, na Mungu awabariki. Najua pengine hako mahali atakuja kupatikana.
However, Alien's mother is waiting for the DNA results, although she hopes to find her daughter alive.
Hiyo mili nimeangalia lakini sijaona ule anarisembo kama yeye. Sasa wakachukua DNA, nitakuja kuchukua results nijue vile kumeenda. Matumaini yangu ni apatikana akiwa hai.
As the number of bodies being retrieved from quarry dump site increased daily, families of the victims continue to camp here at City Mortuary in quest for the missing kin. Dolly Marikimbovi for Hope TV, Nairobi.
Still on matters cry for justice. The family of Charles Owino is crying for justice after he was shot dead in Kitengela during the anti-government protest in the town on Tuesday. The 19-year-old is reported to have been shot in the head moments after leaving a chemist where he had been sent to buy medicine. And as Gloria Musimbi reports, the family of Charles Owino positively identified his body at City Mortuary in Nairobi.
Somber mood engulfed the family of Charles Owino as they trooped City Mortuary to identify their kin. The Tuesday anti-government protests gained momentum across the country, with youthful protesters turning up in large numbers to voice their concerns, demanding accountability for the deaths of peaceful protesters since the anti-government protests erupted. While youthful protesters gathered in Kitengela to engage in anti-government protest amid heavy security presence, police lobbed tear gas canisters and live bullets to disperse youthful protesters. A peaceful endeavor that turned chaotic, leading to the demise of Charles Owino. The 19-year-old is reported to have been shot on the head moments after leaving a chemist where he had been sent to buy medicine.
Okay. Brother yangu hakuenda maandamano. Brother yangu alikutana na mauti barabarani akirudi nyumbani. Alienda kununua dawa. Ilikuwa around kitu saa 10, saa 11, saa 10, saa 11. Sasa kwenye ile harakati wa kurudi nyumbani ndio mbio ikaanza. Mapolisi wakaanza kukimbizana watu wenye walikuwa wanaandamana kwa barabara. Sasa mdogo wangu pia hajui, haelewi mtaa vizuri, pia akajipata kwenye hiyo mix. Polisi ali open fire upande wa nyuma. Ikapata brother yangu. Brother yangu akakufa hapo hapo.
Sasa nilimtuma aenda tembelee brother yake Kitengela. Kufika sasa nilijua atarudi by Monday ama Tuesday, juu si kuweka kwa akili yangu Tuesday kuna maandamano. Nilistuka sana kama brother yangu anapiga simu akilia ati Ochali ameshutiwa.
The family learned of his death through social media, pushing them to begin searching for him.
Under county government, county ya Saitoti, wakatuambia hiyo mwili haikuletwa huku, muende City Mortuary Nairobi. Haya, na hiyo time ni majioni saa 12. Hatungeweza kufika huku maana hakuna hata matatu, hakuna vile tutafika huku. Tukasema wacha tutarauka asubuhi City Mortuary. Hivyo asubuhi saa 2 ilitupata hapa. Hadi hivi sasa ndio tumemaliza kuona mwili wa brother yetu pale ndani. Bila alikufa jana.
Owino adds to the 50 reported cases of persons killed by security agents during the ensuing protest, even as the police are on the receiving end following the killings that have been condemned by various lobby groups and political leaders.
Mdogo wangu nimekuja hapa mortuary, nimeconfirm mdogo wangu alipigwa risasi ya hapa hivi kwa kichwa, ikatokezea upande wa nyuma. So kwa maana mnyonge hana haki, mimi naomba justice kwa government wenye wanaweza tusaidia.
Peleka huyu mtoto nyumbani, juu inaniumiza na kuna venye naweza nini. Mimi siwezi, serikali muko mnisaidie tafadhali. Na haki tendeke, muache kuua watoto.
So we are yet to do that postmortem. Now we are calling upon the government. No citizen deserves to die by a bullet that has been paid for by the taxpayers. Hii ni ushuru wetu, zile tear gas wanatumia ni ushuru wetu, zile bunduki wanatumia ni ushuru wetu. Inakuwaje nyinyi mnataka taxes more, yet you are killing the...
Owino's death leaves a void in his family, even as Acting Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja had assured protesters of their safety, begging the question, are the citizens of Kenya safe from the hands of the police? Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Gloria Musimbi.
Do hope that particular family will get justice. Now shifting gears to matters politics. DAPK party leader Eugene Wamalwa has noted that he is not ready to to take any cabinet position in President William Ruto's government. Wamalwa has noted that it is time President William Ruto understands he will not solve the problem the country is currently facing by appointing new cabinet secretaries, but rather by resigning.
I have no intention or any inclination to join William Ruto's government. And even if he offered me my previous docket,
you're not boarding.
I'm not boarding. Because I believe what is wrong is not really the cabinet. I believe we have a wrong leader in State House, and the problem is William Ruto, not the dismissed cabinet or the cabinet that he's going to form. That is where the problem is, and for us to correct it, for us to end corruption in this country, for us to end tribalism in this country, Ruto must go.
Away from that specific issue, well, a group of youth in Eldoret town have asked President William Ruto to reappoint a number of cabinet secretaries that were dismissed. The youth who held a peaceful procession in Eldoret town claimed Kipchumba Murkomen, Professor Kithure Kindiki and Eden Duale are some of those who deserve to be reappointed, claiming that the three performed well in their respective dockets. In addition, the youth affirmed their willingness to maintain peace amid ongoing protests led by the Gen Zs.
Natoka upande wa Eldoret. Nataka kushukuru sana watu wa bodaboda. Sisi kama watu wa bodaboda tumeamua tutunishe amani katika nchi yetu ya Eldoret na hatuna vita na mtu. Sisi tulikuwa tumeamua kuja kusema tu shukrani na tulete tu amani.
Ningependa kumweleza rais kuwa kuna watu ambao walikusaidia kwa serikali ili ukapata hili serikali. Kuna mtu kama Kindiki, kama Murkomen, kama Aden Duale. Hawa ni baadhi ya mawaziri ambao tungependa waweze kurudi kazi zao.
Concerning the CS reshuffling, please Mr. President, if you are hearing me, I want to say, please contain those people who assisted you to get that kind of parliament, that kind of government. The likes of Aden Duale, Murkomen, and even Kindiki, who is there.
Taking a look on what is befalling Meru Governor. Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza is set to face her fourth impeachment trial with the 2 counts of abuse of office and misappropriation of public funds. The notice of motion tabled by nominated member of County Assembly Zipporah Kinya comes 3 weeks shy of Mwangaza's second year as Meru County Governor. The Assembly first attempted an impeachment process against the Mwangaza, or rather against the governor, in November 2022. Barely 4 months in office, the MCS again filed the second motion shortly in December 2022. And in November 2023, the ward representatives filed another impeachment motion, which was shot down by the Senate. After tabling the motion, the MCS are expected to conduct a public participation before Governor Mwangaza tables her response.
Honorable Speaker, count number 2 is misappropriation and misuse of county resources. The governor has grossly violated, among others, Article 10, 73, 201, 226, 5, and 232 of the Constitution, Section 8, 12, 13, 1, and that 5 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and Sections 45, 2, and 46 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes by engagement, conveyance, all complicity in the following. 1. Irregular payment of emergency call allowances to 161 doctors and medical officers using the wrong rates, leading to excessive payment of 74,340,000, contrary to sections 45(2) and 46 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, section 11 and 15 of the Public Officers Ethics Act, and Section 12 of the Leadership and Integrity Act.
Sure, many are asking what's happening in Meru County, since this will be the fourth time Governor Kawira Mwangaza will be facing impeachment cases. Now, moving forward, Garissa elders have come out to defend Dadaab Member of Parliament Farah Maalim, who is facing criticism over recent provoking remarks. The legislator faced backlash after commenting on Gen Z protesters who took to the streets to reject the controversial Finance Bill 2024. The elders, led by Dubat Amey, have defended Maalim, saying it is unfair for Kenyans and the Wiper Party to condemn the Member of Parliament even before proper investigations are done. Ibrahim Ali Hassan also defended Maalim, saying as an experienced politician and elder, he would be the last person to say such words.
Hata bila kufanya upelelezi yote, Mheshimiwa Kalonzo amesema amemtoa Farah. I will call this mob justice.
Na tunalaumu na tunaweka lawama yote kwa wale waliopandika, na tunaomba serikali ifanye upelelezi ya kutosha wenye kupandika hiyo lugha ya kugawagawa na kulete pamoja.
Wale watu walibadilisha maneno yake namna ambayo hajasema.
On matters cried proposed budget cuts to the Ministry of Land and the National Land Commission, noting it will affect its operations. Led by Mugirango North Member of Parliament Joash Nyamoko, the MPs say the proposed 50% budget cut will also hamper routine activities in the State Department for Lands and Physical Planning while generate revenue to the government. This follows the supplementary estimates number 1 of 2024-2025 proposal that seeks to reduce the approved government budget estimates by 121.8 billion Kenya shillings.
I think it's a bit worrying when we know the things that we've had in this country, the Migingo-Era dispute, the Rimi Triangle, all those disputes. Then we say that the budget for international boundaries, we cut 8 to 0. Chairman, I'm a bed thrust. And this is the minister that gives a lot of money to Exchequer. I think we need to be fair to the ministry.
One of the reasons that we are here is to make sure that we make a difference. Chair, I am very uncomfortable with the zeros that are in this document. So I would like to agree with the members that we may need to make a few changes.
The previous approved budget was 10 billion. The recurrent 4.1 and 5.2. Would we add maybe another statement there that what is the expected returns to or the money collected to the Exchequer?
As a ministry, when they were doing this, did you sit? Did they just give you those savings and that was it? That the only response you gave was to write back. I thought we should have consultations across.
Now, High Court Judge Justice David Majanja was earlier in the day cremated at Kariokor Cemetery in line with his wishes. Justice Majanja's interment was preceded by a funeral service at Friends International Center along Ngong Road, where a number of dignitaries joined the family to celebrate the life of Justice Majanja. Majanja, who was a commissioner of the Judicial Service Commission, JSC, passed away last Wednesday while undergoing treatment at Nairobi Hospital. A memorial service is slated for this Saturday in Shinyalu constituency, Kakamega County. And away from that, founder and bishop of Jubilee Christian Church, Alan Kiuna, has been laid to rest in Thindigwa, Kiambu County. During the burial ceremony, Bishop Kiuna was eulogized by different people who reflected on their interactions when he was alive, remembering him as a great teacher, father and grandfather. Attending the burial, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua eulogized Bishop Kiuna as visionary, religious and transformational leader who touched lives of many people through his kindness. Bishop Kiuna died on July 9th at Nairobi Hospital after a long battle with cancer at the age of 57.
Condolence message from His Excellency William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of Kenya Defence Forces, to the family and friends of the late Bishop Alan Kuna. I've lost a true friend and an extraordinary man of God. Bishop Alan Kuna was a general of the Word of the Lord who founded the Jubilee Christian Church. He was a firm faith leader whose sermons were stimulating, authentic, and targeted. Beyond the pulpit, Bishop Kuna was focused, hardworking, and played the lead role in uplifting the needy. We remember him as one of the most potent spiritual leaders to ever serve our country. May Bishop Kuna's spirit live on through the congregants, his fellow church leaders, and the people that he touched. Our prayers are with Reverend Kathy and the family, their loved ones, and the Jubilee Christian Church fraternity at this sad moment. May we draw comfort from the word of the Lord in the book of John, chapter 16, verse 22. So you have sorrow now, but I'll see you again. Then you will rejoice, and no one will rob you of the joy.
But I'll just speak to my sister Kathy and remind you what our brother would be saying now. Before the foundations of the earth, this God have the last say, and he will make a way. Before the predicament came, he had already made a way.
Well, our sincere condolences to the family of Bishop Alan Kuna and the entire church. The Aga Khan University has hosted the opening ceremony of the Data Fest Africa Conference, which seeks to celebrate data use in the East African region and explore data trends, opportunities, and the structural barriers that hinder the development of data science ecosystem in Africa. The event has brought together various stakeholders from diverse backgrounds such as government, civil societies, donors, academicians, students, and private industry experts, as well as innovative and transformative Africans who are looking to learn, contribute, and shape the evolving data, tech, policy, and innovation ecosystem in Africa. Nelias Wanjiru with more details.
Over 250 stakeholders from diverse backgrounds such as government, civil society, donors, academics, students, and private industry experts have convened for Data Fest Africa 2024 conference organized by the Aga Khan University and Policy. The conference, themed Opportunity for All, Harnessing Data and Technology for Africa's Transformation, is celebrating the use of data in East Africa and creating a platform to address the leapfrog challenges that stymie the development of data ecosystem in Africa.
But we've grown over the years. We also did realize at the time that data clubs were being dominated by male people. So we said, let's create Data Ladies Africa. You know, Data Ladies, which was a women-only exclusive club, where we were welcoming all women, you know, regardless of your background, whether you're a social worker, whether you're doing this, to just let them know that this is a space that is not only for data science and software engineers, but that everyone has something to contribute. And of course, if I were to ask the different backgrounds of people in the room, you'll be amazed at how many people are coming into the room to pick an interest in data.
Speaking during the opening ceremony of the conference, the Deputy Data Commissioner in Kenya, Oscar Otieno, commended the move for creating a platform that addresses data use. He also urged the youth in the country to create a dynamic lineup of captivating talks, insightful discussions, and inspiring sessions led by top experts and visionaries across Africa and beyond in order to boost data technology, inclusive growth, and sustainability development in Africa.
Enacting legislation is just the first step. Effective implementation and enforcement are crucial to ensuring the success of data protection efforts. Stakeholders from diverse backgrounds such as government, civil society, donors, academics, students, and private industry experts must work together to raise awareness, provide guidance, and enforce compliance with data laws. This includes investing in capacity building, training, and technology to support data protection initiatives across different sectors.
Aga Khan University Chief Innovation Officer Farhana Rakia added that Africa is committed to proactive preventive healthcare through usage of data-driven methods that tackle population health issues, adding that through the integrated electronic health record system, they are using data to innovate from the cultural context to enable better outcomes, noting that since the inception of the Data Fest Africa in 2019, the conference has been celebrating data science and its ever-evolving impact on African continent.
And what gets me up every morning when I work at the Aga Khan University is when I see the potential of EHR data in terms of what it can do, in terms of it being a game changer for the continent. We have to innovate for our context. Given these challenges that I've walked you through, showing you that we can't just borrow, we can't just bring and import in protocols seamlessly, we need to innovate and innovate for our context.
In a bid to celebrate data use in East Africa region and explore data trends, opportunity and structural barriers that hinder development of data science ecosystem in Africa, the annual Data Fest conference is set to take place for 3 days beginning today, 17th to 19th July. Africa is still considered the most data-scarce continent despite holding the largest and biggest opportunity in terms of population. According to the World Economic Forum, 60% of Africans are under 25 years old and a quarter of all humans on Earth are expected to be living on African continent by 2050. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Nelias Wanjiru.
Crossing over to matters business, Absa Bank Kenya has announced a strategic partnership with Old Mutual to offer a comprehensive SME insurance solution called Linda Biz. The initiative aims to enhance the financial stability, growth and resilience of small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, across Kenya. The launch event featured speeches from key executives emphasizing the importance of tailored solutions, financial stability and innovative support for SMEs, as Mumbi Waweru reports.
Speaking at the event, Elizabeth Wasuna, Business Banking Director at Absa, emphasized the potential to revolutionize SME support in Kenya. Wasuna explained that the Linda Biz insurance solution offers flexible payment plans starting as low as 500 shillings per month and comprehensive coverage options tailored to specific SME risks. These include protection against fire, floods, business interruption, and employee health and safety. Wasuna noted that this initiative is part of Absa's broader strategy to enhance SME sustainability by providing access to markets, finance, information, and mentorship, ultimately equipping clients with the tools necessary to thrive and expand.
Customers, and especially SMEs, struggling to open their businesses because every day counts for income. But in this case, as you count for income and you're disrupted, then what do you do? So we're then saying we provided you the product that not only is affordable, it is reliable, but it's also comprehensive and makes sure that we give you an opportunity to pick up the pieces. In the event that your business is affected, then insurance kicks in to be able to support you in being able to move forward.
Absa Bank Kenya MD and CEO Abdi Mohamed underscored the need to invest in the SME sector, which accounts for 30% of Kenya's GDP. He highlighted that the Linda Biz offers insurance for losses against fire, political violence, riots and strikes, floods, business interruption, burglary, loss of money, and theft by employees. It also covers employees against injury, disablement, or death. Mohammed emphasized that the importance of simplifying SMEs' access to insurance solutions to drive sustained growth and resilience.
I think it's a very well crafted product that looks at both the business needs of the SME, but also it looks at the connectivity between the individual, because in many cases in the SME business, there is a very thin line between the person and the business that they run. And I think this product has taken that into account.
Arthur Oginga, Old Mutual East Africa Group CEO, reiterated Old Mutual's commitment to supporting SMEs, describing the partnership as a pioneering effort to empower SMEs across Kenya. He highlighted that SMEs form the backbone of the country's economy, needing enhanced support from financial service providers to mitigate risks. Oginga mentioned that the World Bank states SMEs represent 90% of the businesses worldwide, contributing significantly to job creation and economic development. In Kenya, SMEs employ over 15 million people and contribute about 30% to the GDP, making this sector crucial for economic growth.
Linda Biz is an innovative solution tailored towards the SME segment. It's a bespoke solution that has been thought through to provide solutions to specific things that challenge the SME sector. The purpose of the product is really to build resilience around SMEs.
Eva Muraya, founder of Brand Strategy Design Group and an ABSA customer, shared her 24-year journey as an entrepreneur, emphasizing the importance of creating convenience, accessibility, and affordability for SMEs through technology. She challenged the industry to teach businesses how to de-risk and leverage growth potential, citing a 54% growth in SME ownership in Kenya. Mombi Waweru, Hope TV Newswatch.
On matters business, the Institute for Social Accountability launched their report on the impact of the International Monetary Fund Fiscal Consolidation Program on the economy. The report highlighted observations on the IMF program, citing most of its implications as negative to Kenya. This comes after a court in the United States ruled that IMF can now be sued for its implications of their conditions to a country. Ian Githuku reports.
Good. Now, Anguka Nayo, give us the receipt.
Stakeholders of the private sector today came out to highlight the implications of the International Monetary Fund Consolidation Program on the Kenyan economy. While spearheading the launch of the report that holds these implications, TISA chairperson Diana Gishengo was keen on explaining the negative implications, the main point of emphasis being the fact that approximately 71% of revenue is now allocated to debt repayment, a move which will cause great economic strain to the Kenyan economy.
When you think about debt, and sometimes the people who are in the economics world wanaonanga kama tukisema tuta default, madeni zingine hatuwezi lipa. Madeni zingine hatuwezi lipa. It is wrong, it is actually immoral to pay certain debts that never even hit our account. Zinapitana kwa hewa. And we have business people here.
She called for accountability, stating that although the IMF loans are supposed to aid Kenya as budgetary support, a huge chunk of the money ends up in the wrong pockets due to corruption. She called upon the ongoing revolution led by Gen Z to call the government to account for how loans from the IMF are spent. This, she believes, will assist in relieving Kenyans on the burden of repaying loans whose benefits are nowhere to be seen.
So we really understand what Kenyans are going through. We understand what hustlers are going through. And part of why we invited you, Vimal, is for them to understand. They told us they have 14 licenses. Vimal amesema kona ngapi? 40 licenses. So that we start creating the linkages. That as your businesses shrink,
Bidco CEO Vimal Shah, who is a key figure in the private sector, firmly expressed his belief that the International Monetary Fund was actually for the good of our nation. He, however, supported Gishengo in saying that the misappropriation and intense corruption surrounding these funds is the main issue that continues to put Kenya stuck with non-beneficial debt.
And the amount spent is massive. And then we don't see a benchmark report of how our competitiveness of Kenya can be improved by comparing to them. When we want to go and do extra good stuff, we say Singapore. Kenya is going to be the Singapore, right? If we want to be really Singapore, yes, Singapore is not democratic, sorry. It's autocratic, but it's benevolent dictatorship to say, fine, let's get the right thing done and move in terms of competitiveness. They were number one in world competitiveness, global competitiveness in the world. And Singapore is the size of Nairobi.
Various local entrepreneurs were also given an opportunity to air their economic grievances. They called upon the government to provide a more conducive environment for them by reducing the licenses involved in conducting business. This, they believe, will give them an edge in being more competitive in the market.
How do we compete with the Chinese and the Ugandan market and our market, because our government is not haitusaidii sisi kukua kama biashara, lakini Uganda wanasaidia traders wao, unaona, kupeleka mzigo kutoka hapa Kenya hadi Uganda, umesema kwenda US kuexport.
For Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Ian Gedhuku.
Hapa Uganda hawa majirani wetu.
Ian Githuku wraps up our bulletin tonight. Many thanks for choosing Newswatch. My name is Sammy Adika. Do have a wonderful night.